The second half of our trek through Southern California has moved us up the coast to Los Angeles, where the Stanley Cup Championship was decided just a few months ago. It's the Penguins and Kings here on Root Sports. And Blake, with your goal last night in Anaheim, you now have 4 goals and 9 points in 11 games since returning from injury. Are you surprised at all that you picked up where you left off from before the injury?
Yeah, a little bit surprised. Being out that long, I didn't really know what to expect, but all the credit to my 2 line mates, Cooney and Gino. They've been playing outstanding, so it's been easy for me to gel with those guys.
The key to your victory last night against a pretty good defensive squad in Anaheim was the great start that you guys got off to. How do you do that once again tonight against another pretty good defensive squad?
Yeah, same idea. Get pucks in behind their D. We got to play physical. They got some skill guys, and they play really structured, so we're going to have to match that and just get ugly goals.
Blake, go to work.
Thanks.
Staggy, take it away.
Thank you, Danny. Luc Robitaille played for the Penguins in 94-95. He scored 23 of his 668 goals in the NHL over 19 seasons. That's the all-time leading figure for left wingers. His statue was unveiled here tonight. It'll be a ceremonial puck drop in just a moment.
Penguins Hockey on Root Sports is brought to you by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. You're better with Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Rated #1 for plan satisfaction. By Western PA Toyota dealers. Now's the time to go places with Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com for special offers. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Well, Luc Robitaille sat for a nice long induction ceremony outside the Staples Center tonight and then dropped the puck between Sidney Crosby and Dustin Brown, the captains of these respective clubs. And Robitaille, really one of the more well-liked players in the history of this game by his fans here in Los Angeles. Just as Marc-Andre Fleury is loved by the fans in Pittsburgh, Bob.
Great transition right there, I got to tell you. Why not for Marc-Andre Fleury, looking for win number 30. And this man, Jonathan Quick, yeah, that's the way he plays. He's out there, he's challenging, he's like a crab around the net. Elevate the puck, be patient, work it east to west, and get traffic in front of him.
Well, it's the third line starting for the Penguins again tonight. Sutter in the middle. The difference is Steve Downey is back in the lineup. He was a healthy scratch last night at Anaheim. He's on the right wing. And Daniel Winnick on the left side with Derek Pouliot and Ben Lovejoy paired up defensively. The Anze Kopitar line on for the Kings with Marian Gaborik and Lewis, Trevor Lewis, as the puck is turned over in the neutral zone, and Steve Downey lifts it right back in to the Kings zone. Drew Doughty paired up with Robin Regehr defensively. Kopitar works it ahead for Lewis, who feeds it up the left wing for Gaborik. He's got a step, he shoots, and Fleury stands up to stop him and then kneels down on top of the puck. He wasn't quite sure where it was, but it was underneath those pads and that butterfly, and he's able to freeze.
He stood up on the shot. It was down. Gaborik, he's got that great speed. He got in behind Lovejoy, and that pass was out behind him. He knew it was going to carry him to the front of his stick, and Marc-Andre Fleury was able to get out there and cut that angle down on Gaborik, who's starting to heat up again. Pair of 12s.
You're going to love the uniforms. I think they make the Kings look even bigger than they are. They're kind of intimidating in those gold or yellow jerseys with the purple pants. The original colors of this Los Angeles Kings team. This
70-something line on the ice right now, they're huge.
When Carter was absolutely flying in the warm-up. Carter leading the club to 50 points. There's a hit in the neutral zone. And now it's taken by Letang, who feeds it over to Paul Martin, and he'll dump it in. Over to get it is Robin Regehr. Big defenseman. It's hit hard by Perron. Hornqvist tried to center for Crosby. He goes in, lifts the stick of Regehr, throws it out towards the point, but Paul Martin couldn't knock it out of midair. Now Martin finds Crosby in the middle as the Kings are changing. Jared Stoll, his pocket picked by Crosby again. Boy, he's on fire here on this first shift. Hornqvist for Perron. Perron looks for Crosby. Couldn't get it to him. And sends it back down low for Jared Stoll. Hornqvist took it away from him. Crosby tried to go to the point to Ian Cole. Cole, who got his first assist for the Penguins last night on the Hornqvist goal, is hit from behind in the corner by Matt Green, and there's going to be a penalty against Green, and the Penguins will have a chance to get a power play goal here early, and they could use one right now.
Yeah, and boy, they have come ready to play this game. Their feet are moving. They've got on the forecheck. There's the penalty. Green against Cole. And a great opportunity to get on the board here first.
Penguins were 0 for 4 on the power play last night. They're They're only converting at 8.3% in the last 9 road games, but during that time, their record on the road, 7-2. So it hasn't really hurt them. But in a game like this, second of back-to-backs, where it might be difficult to generate some offense, you'd love to see them get one here on a UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Green is in the box for holding. Pouliot to Letang, and he broke a stick in 2. And now he's going to back up and reach for a stick. But the Penguins take the puck away before the Kings could get it down the ice, and Sutter's got it now. Second power play unit on, because Crosby's unit was out there when the penalty was taken by Green. And busting up the center ice now is Brown. Dustin Brown with good speed against Letang, who cuts him off, knocks him down. He goes crashing into those end boards on that fresh ice. And the Penguins quickly go the other way with a man advantage.
Little love tap from Brown on the back of the leg of Letang. Letang with that great speed and strength to shut down Dustin Brown.
Dustin Brown is noted for a lot of love taps.
I tell you, he had a head of steam going there, Staggy. And Letang didn't panic, found his angle, stayed inside, forced the man wide, and made a beautiful defensive play.
Penguins have good wheels again here tonight. Malkin dropped his stick, picks it up calmly while the puck was coming towards him. And now Letang holds it and hands it off to Evgeny Malkin. Malkin looks right wing for Hornquist. He couldn't take the pass. Crosby's got it. Cross ice. Kunitz. And he'll dump it in. Comes quickly out of the net to stop it, but it's going to be offside. Rivers Casino tips to win, Bob.
Fast start, active early. Penguins have got it going right now. Still on the power play. It's going to be tough against this Kings team, but you got Letang. We just saw his abilities. Drew Doughty averaging more than any defense in terms of ice time.
But you got to finish strong against the LA Kings. You never had. You think you got him down and out?
Canadians thought they had him down and out. They're 9th right now. They're not going anywhere. They're going to play 60, 65 minutes. They might take that tonight.
Evgeny Malkin. And he is red hot with 7 goals in 7 games. 7-game scoring streak. Couldn't hold the puck there or get it as he reached up for it. And the Kings bring it to the Penguin zone. 28 seconds remaining on the penalty. And now the Kings shorthanded, forcing the issue at the Penguins' end. Kunitz will get the puck. And Letang's got it now. Penguins' top unit is on again as time ticks away on this power play. 16 seconds remaining on it. Paul Martin down the right wing. Martin is hit by Nick Shore. Then Kunitz drills Regier. Here's Malkin in front. Trying to get it to Crosby, who bats it out of midair on the backhand, but he couldn't get it to the net. Drew Doughty blocked it. And now it's Kunitz with it. To Crosby. Penalty over. On the ice comes Green. Malkin can't pull the trigger. He's got to be careful here. Dwight King and Malkin battling for the puck in front of the Kings bench. And Malkin from his knees sends it back on defense to Derek Pouliot. Now to Ben Lovejoy. He threw it across. Kopitar almost picked it off. Now Bo Bennett from Gardena, California comes into the offensive zone, but again offside on the Penguins.
Well, a great opportunity for Pittsburgh. Still with no shots. Had a great opportunity. Malkin found himself all alone, 2-on-1 in front of the net. He didn't shoot it, tried to pass it. Look at that hand-eye coordination. Crosby on the backhand, out of the air. And that would have counted. That was something special there.
No shots for the Penguins on that power play. That was an attempted shot by Crosby out of midair, but it didn't get to the net. And now the puck is handled by Andrei Sekera, who, of course, came over from the Carolina Hurricanes at the trade deadline. Slava Voinov not available to the Kings now. That's a big loss for them on the blue line. So Sekera trying to fill that void. We get an icing call against Pittsburgh.
There's Mike Johnson, familiar with this LA King hockey team. In his first season with the Pittsburgh Penguins, you know, he's excited to go through the West and was excited with the team's performance last night.
Daryl Sutter was asked if the other night if it was a must-win. He said, no, there are no such things. It's not like they throw you in the ocean if you lose. He doesn't buy into very many theories that the media come up with. He is a contrarian. Puck is cleared by Spaulding
to
to
center.
center.
The last game for them to get into the playoffs. You know, they might need a win.
They might. And
Would you call that a must-win?
That would probably be a must-win. Although I still don't think anybody would get thrown into the ocean if they didn't win it. They might jump into the ocean, but they wouldn't get thrown in. Now here's the Penguins trying to come out of their own zone. Down the wall comes Sekera out of the corner. He's hit by Spaulding. Stoll shoots it to the net. That's blocked. Spaulding pokes it out to center where Lapierre has it. Maxime Lapierre knocked down over there by Sekera, and he gets himself up slowly. He's right there by the door. He steps into the bench. The Penguins changing up.
He had 9 hits last night, Lapierre.
Braden McNabb moves it out to center. King just runs right over, just steamrolled Ian Cole. But Cole gets back up to move the puck up the right wing to Sutter. Into the middle now for Winnick. And he'll dump it in behind the Kings defense. Drew Doughty going back for it. Slipped it up the right wing. Carter dumps it rink wide. Regier steps up. Letang got there first to get a blade on it, but then it's dumped in by Carter. And behind where it's taken by Paul Martin. Martin quickly moved his feet to get out of his own zone. Excellent work there by Martin. And now the puck sent right to the goal, and Quick will cover it with Winnick coming in.
Well, the Kings, they won 8 in a row. They lost 3, and then they just beat the Montreal Canadiens, and still just on the outside looking in there.
And the Jets, Winnipeg Jets, beat Nashville today. So that's a 4-point difference now between Winnipeg and LA. So it is an important game for the Kings. Even though they had an 8-game winning streak, then they lost 3 in a row. They've won 2 straight. They still are chasing teams, trying to get into that playoff picture. Quick shot by Como, and Jonathan Quick makes the save.
Is that his first save of the night? I guess it is. As they credit the Penguins with a shot.
Quick has appeared in all but 2 of the last 34 games. At one point he started 16 in a row. Braden Holtby has played 57. This is the 56th game played for Jonathan Quick. Holtby leads all goalies with that 57 number. Rob Scuderi, the former King, dumps it to the right wing corner. Green moved it ahead. Kopitar looks left wing for Gaborik. Good gap there by Ian Cole. He moves it along for Scuderi, and he'll just chip it out to center. Jake Muzzin, former draft pick of the Penguins, moves it up on right wing. Kopitar, good back pressure there by Kunitz on him. Kopitar lost his stick in the process. Is that going to be a holding penalty?
Apparently it is against Kunitz.
Kunitz barks at the referee. Referees are Jean Hebert and Kevin Pollock. Vaughn Rohde and Brad Lazarewicz are the linesmen.
Yeah, took the stick right out of the hands of Kopitar. Slovenian playing with his skates. He seemed like he was very comfortable without the stick. So a good opportunity for the Kings on their power play right now.
Penguins penalty killers, Brandon Sutter and Nick Spaulding. Chris Letang and Rob Scuderi. Tyler Toffoli's on the ice. Watch out for him, number 73. He's right in front of the net. Kopitar in the high slot. Doughty works it on the far wall. Sekera to Carter. Jeff Carter, big, strong power forward. Fires it right over the head of Fleury and off the glass and all the way out to center ice.
Can't let him turn it to the forehand. You just cannot afford to have him move in like he did right there.
Kopitar, one of the more crafty players, just a great hockey player. From Slovenia, closes in, shoots it in the save made by Fleury. Kopitar back out to Doughty. Doughty looks it over, fires, Fleury the save, and the rebound, backhanded wide by Toffoli, and then Sutter can't get it out. Sekera down to his knees. And now the Kings will have to regroup. Toffoli comes all the way from the front of the net to get to center ice so that the Kings can get onside. Doughty wheeling at center ice. Moves it to the right side of Toffoli. Toffoli shoots, and Fleury makes the save. So the Flower very sharp as the Kings are firing pucks on this power play.
Yep, and Jeff Carter missed 2 opportunities, both wide to the glove side of Marc-Andre Fleury on that power play. Big number 77 picks up the rebound here. Look at Carter with the shot. Fleury, I don't know if he got a piece of that or not. Another look at it. There's the shot. There's, boy, Flower may have just ticked that with the glove.
Carter has a team-leading 7 power play goals. Well, their second unit comes on. Dustin Brown out here, along with Marian Gaborik. Brown took the draw and ended up winning it. And Jake Muzzin moves it to the right side. Gaborik to the corner. Williams to Gaborik to Muzzin. Back to Gaborik. The shot. He just floated it in there, and Fleury saw it all the way, and he makes the save. Well, Gaborik has 9 power play goals. Thanks, Bob. I didn't see that number.
I was just trying to keep it quiet.
No, it's okay. It's all good. No, I'm allowed to make a mistake now and then, aren't I? I only do it about 10 times a game.
Good traffic in front, and you see what the Kings are doing here, Staggy? On their power play, they're getting the shots to the net, and they're working off those rebounds. That shot-first mentality, I think that's something the Penguins have to look at. Got to get the puck to the net and have everybody adjust. The shot's now 5-1 for the Kings already. I think 4 on the power play.
Yes, and the Penguins had none on theirs, so you make a good point. This is Braden McNabb carrying the puck back for Los Angeles. Head off the stick of Muzzin into the Penguin zone. Jeez, I thought that went off the stick of Muzzin. That was over the red line, but it's going to be icing against the Kings. Thought he touched it.
Let's take a peek at the Eastern Conference here now. And the Penguins in that third hole, the Metropolitan. See what the Ottawa Senators are doing. Ottawa and Florida trying to catch Boston for that last wild card.
Penguins have what you would call an easy schedule down the stretch. 13 of the last 18 games against non-playoff teams. And that would include this one right here. And again on Monday night when the Penguins play San Jose. So there's a good chance if the Penguins take care of business that they could end up winning the division with that schedule. Not that there are any easy touches in the league. There's a clear by Sutter, especially this time of year when even the teams that are out of it can play loose and can be dangerous teams. Here's Jake Muzzin now in his own zone. Kunitz steps out of the box, so the Kings fail to score with a man advantage thanks to great penalty-killing goaltending by Marc-Andre Fleury. Braden McNabb, former Buffalo Sabre, drops it to another former Sabre, Robin Regehr. And the Kings dump it in. Fleury had to wait for it to come to the trapezoid, and then Letang takes a bump down low from Dwight King. And good back pressure there by Stoll to King. Scuderi takes it right away from him and then clears it off the boards to center. Big play by Scuderi against his former teammate.
Real nice stick there for Rob Scuderi. Cup with the Penguins, cup with the Kings.
Kunitz bumps Shore. Nick Shore, who played with Bo Bennett at the University of Denver on the ice, number 37 for the Kings. Kyle Clifford can't get out of his own zone. Kunitz trying to get it to the net. Now it's Malkin in the corner, trying to lift the stick of Regehr, but he got it up the wall, but right to Paul Martin, and his shot is blocked. Not a lot of room out there when you play the Kings. You'll have to pay a price to make plays on the wall. There's a centering pass by Como, who's hit after he passed the puck. Kyle Clifford after the puck to the corner against Paul Martin, left it there, centering pass. Oh, Nolan had a good play there in mind. He centered it, and then it ricocheted right back to the net, and Fleury was able to make the save.
Yeah, and you know, you can see the Kings, they're just battling to the whistle there. You got to make sure your back's out. They're going to play right through the glove of Marc-Andre Fleury. And a good job by Pouliot to intercept that pass across the crease.
Before tonight's game here at Staples Center, the Kings debuted a statue of former King and current president of operations Luc Robitaille, Mario and Jerry West, also in the house for this. The Hall of Fame forward played one season for the Penguins in 94-95, but played 14 seasons here in Los Angeles. No left winger in the game of hockey has ever scored more points than Lucky did at that position. And yes, guys, I still have a number 20 black and silver Robitaille jersey somewhere in my mom's house.
You have the black and silver one. You don't have the Forum purple and gold.
Yeah, you might have that one too. You know, Danny.
Penguins trying to win the battle and get control here. The puck right to the paint and frozen by Jonathan Quick. Take a look at our barrel leaders. We talked about Chris Letang and Drew Doughty in the open of our telecast.
Yeah. Boy, can they play? They can both skate so well, and they're able to absorb a lot of minutes. You see Doughty, 29-20, that's tops in the National Hockey League. 50 points for Letang. That's a top number as well.
Doughty 17th in scoring among defensemen. Usually the top scoring defenseman wins the Norris, or if he doesn't, there may be other extenuating circumstances. Here's Crosby swinging around. Doughty is shooting, and the save made by Quick. And no rebound. So Sidney Crosby's had good jump here at the start of this game.
And you see Doughty. He's the man he's against. Doughty followed him around the back of the net all the way to the blue line after that shot. Sidney Crosby. Stick handling. There's Doughty. And good moves by Sidney Crosby. Against Drew Doughty, who's going to hack and whack and try to finish off checks, and he'll stand up and You know, for a guy that, a lot of times a guy that can play 29, 30 minutes a game, Staggy, he's played 30 minutes or more 29 times this year. Normally they're not that physical. You know, they kind of bide their time a little bit, like a Ryan Suter would. But there's a lot more energy in his game.
Kunis just shooting one over the net. Yeah, Doughty more like Denny Potvin, I would say. Look out, great chance here. Shot, a big save by Fleury on Lewis. He robs Trevor Lewis coming down the right wing.
Trevor Lewis with 9, looking for his 10th of the season. And Marc-Andre Fleury came way out to cut down that angle. Beautiful feed. Kopitar led the rush. Look at where Flower is. Again, way out on top of that blue paint to cut down that angle and make that blocker save.
Well, his last 6 starts against Los Angeles, Marc-Andre Fleury is 5-1.
And as we mentioned earlier, Quick has only won 1 of 5 starts against the Penguins in his career.
Jake Muzzin goes back to the puck. Snaps it up on left wing to Gaborik. Here comes the Kings Lewis again with Letang defending against him. Kopitar in the corner. Malkin took it away but centered it. And then Lewis couldn't pull the trigger there. Then a high shot by Muzzin is knocked down by Fleury. Kunitz ahead for Como, who just tips it up into the Kings zone. Back to get it goes Matt Green.
A lot of high shots against Marc-Andre Fleury so far in this game, and he stood up on most of them here.
Bob Scuderi with control. LA leading in the scoring chance department, 6-2 so far.
The way I see it, shots are 8-2. There's a big hit in the corner.
Here comes a chance, though, a 2-on-1. McNabb is back. Downey with it. Downey closing in, drops it off, and Cole guns it over the goal. I didn't see Cole until the last second. Neither did Downey. He jumped into the attack, and he just rifled that puck as hard as he could over the net. Downey with it again, looking for Smalling going to the goal and off his skate, but it didn't go in. Quick right on the goal line, able to prevent it from getting through the 5-hole.
I wasn't sure if Sekera got a piece of that shot by Cole. Great to see the defenseman joining the rush. Downey was so patient. The Penguins looking to get it on the board with their best chance of the night. Well, Mr. Cole, newest member of the Penguins blue line, along with Lovejoy, after his partner Scuderi got tagged. Watch Cole join the rush, takes the Downey feed. The defender does get a stick on it, Andre Sekera, to prevent that 3-on-2 opportunity for the Penguins.
Cole really wound up and tried to blast it right into the net. And Sekera, I think probably with that wind-up, that's how he got that blade in there. Just a little extra time he had to defend against it. Here's Scuderi now, winding it back around to the corner to Ian Cole. Headman pass unaccepted and unreceived there by David Perron, so it's icing against the Penguins. We invite you to tweet the booth again tonight. Send your comments and questions. Use the hashtag PensBooth. It's brought to you by Point Park University.
Penguins Crosby unit on the ice. Drew Doughty on the ice for the Kings, and the Carter unit comes out fresh for LA.
Dwight King, Tyler Toffoli, Carter shooting, Fleury the save. And again, he's able to quickly find the puck after it hit him.
Yeah, he was trying to kick that into the corner, and it got caught up his stick into the back of his blocker on the Carter quick one-timer. Marc-Andre Fleury able to trap it up.
It's one thing Fleury has been so good at this year and getting better and better is controlling rebounds, finding pucks after they hit him. In the paint, too, with all that traffic around the net. On the goal line more, so he's able to keep the puck in front of him and find it. Here's Drew Doughty. Pressured by Winnick. To Robin Regeer. Regeer playing in his 1,072nd hockey game tonight. Came into the league as a young player with Calgary, actually Colorado originally. Now it is taken by Winnick, diving to get it ahead to Bo Bennett. Bennett's going to catch up with it with Matt Green closing in on him. He turns the body on him to protect the puck in the corner, waiting for help from Winnick. Bo Bennett doing a good job against a bunch of yellow jerseys down there. And the quick shot of Quick again makes the save on Letang. And a couple of times in this game so far, Quick has been looking around for the puck.
Yes.
Not quite sure where it is.
And a great play by Bennett to keep it alive with all that jerseys. And there's Marc-Andre Fleury comparing him to Jonathan Quick. Game started. Look at the goals against. Better for Marc-Andre Fleury. Fleury's got the 8 shutouts. Jonathan Quick's got 4 on the season. 4's a good number. 8 is spectacular and a Penguins record.
Martin Jones was the goaltender when the Penguins shut out the Kings 3-0 back in October. Marian Gaborik sends it across the ring. Trevor Lewis is there for Los Angeles. Snaps it right on the tape for Gaborik. Gaborik down the wing, shoots it, and Fleury again makes a blocker save. And Ben Lovejoy with good speed got to the puck, sent it up the wall in the backhand, didn't get a lot on it, and Lewis sends it right back behind the net. Pouliot, smart play, stopped up, changed direction to reverse the flow and get the puck out. Now Como on the right wing, and he'll dump it into the Kings zone. Quick left it for Green, up the wall for Gaborik. Como got in the way of that. Como is rocked into the boards from behind. It's going to be a penalty on Green. Fleury's headed to the bench. Muzzin touches up. So Green rattling the bones of Blake Como there.
He's checking his left leg there, and his stick is way away from where he was after he was hit hard in that corner. Here's Como, just shove. It's just, you know, when players, they don't have a stick. Green with 2 shoves. 2 pushes, one on Como. That's how Como ended up with a broken wrist earlier, a shove from behind. And look at Evgeny Malkin with the stick behind the legs. A little tomfoolery.
Roughing is the call on Green, and Malkin is he's putting on a show again here tonight.
I love to watch
already
him on the ice against Kopitar. 2 big centermen like that, Staggy, bringing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little bit of that. What a battle.
And frozen by Quick. Yeah, Kopitar more subtle, I would say, than Malkin, who is very flashy. Our UPMC Sports Medicine injury update. These 2, Mata and Dupuis, are the ones that really have had a huge impact on Jim Rutherford's approach to how he's built this team this year. Mata's on the trip, by the way. Kunitz wanted to get back with his teammates and have some fun rehabbing from that shoulder surgery. Here's Crosby with it now across to Malkin. Malkin holds and shoots. And it's blocked and cleared. Letang will go back for it. The Penguins with a man advantage. No score in the game. This is their second power play chance. And the first one they didn't register a shot. Let's see what they can do with this one here. Kings are ranked 20th in penalty killing. Letang closing in. Shot off a stick. Hornquist gets to it. He falls down. Crosby working hard to get to the puck. He tried to move it to Letang, but he was more towards the middle, not at the point, unable to get it. And Letang finds Crosby on the wing. Dumps it to the corner for Hornquist. Now for Kunitz to Malkin. Malkin to Crosby. Now for Kunitz, and across to Letang to Malkin. The drive, save made, and the rebound jumped right past to where Crosby could grab it. And then Malkin can't hold it in.
Boy, Crosby's right in great position. It was about 5 feet away from the end of his stick as that puck came off the pad of Quick.
Long drive from center ice by Doughty is blockered away by Fleury and now taken by David Perron as we're down to 33 seconds on this Penguin power play. Paul Martin lugs it for the Penguins to center. Drops it off to Derek Pouliot. He finds Perron over the line. He gives it to Como. Nick Shore confronts Como, who banks it off the boards to Paul Martin. Now to Pouliot. Pouliot in the circle for Como. Downey's in front of the net. Como. Martin. Shot. Deflected away from the net. Thrown in front by Perron. It comes all the way through for Pouliot. 5 seconds to go in the penalty. Pouliot to Martin. And Perron fans on the shot. Downey gets to it. Penalty over. Downey sends it to the near wall. The man who came out of the box, Green, able to clear it to the line. No further. Boy, that came out over the line. I guess so. Perron trying to hold it in. Couldn't do so. Another power play goes by the boards for the Penguins. No score. What a thrill it must be for Bo Bennett to be back at his hometown of Los Angeles to play against the Kings. Dan Potash will speak with him in our first intermission, presented by your neighborhood Ford store with Paul Alexander and Jay Caulfield. I know there are a lot of tickets purchased for this game by the Bennett family and friends. They've been following them up the coast from Anaheim now to Los Angeles, where we are in this gigantic building here that is filled to the top with Kings fans and a lot of Penguins fans too. Saw a lot of them before the game, as we always do when we come to LA.
Awesome. Everybody keep warm out here.
Penguins trying to keep it in the zone here, and now it's taken by Clifford. He finds Nolan, who dumps it towards the net. Fleury kept it going. He moved it in behind the cage, stolen by the Kings, but now it is stepping up. It is Sekera to the corner for Nolan, who centers, but right on the stick of Bo Bennett, and he carries back down for the Penguins to Daniel Winnick, who dumps it up in the air. Bennett able to find it, and he slips it back down the right wing boards. Taken there by McNabb. Around for Sekera. Sutter steps into him. 4 minutes remaining in the period. Kings have outshot the Penguins 11-4. They're a rested team after the Penguins played last night. But the Penguins came out with good energy. The Kings have had the better chances for sure. They dump the puck into the Penguin zone. Clifford gets in after it. Fleury, who has been the great equalizer so far in this game, sends it up the wall. Jake Muzzin in his own line. Over to Matt Green, former Edmonton Oiler, finds Muzzin. Up the wall for Lewis. Did he touch it? No, it's an icing call.
Well, you talked about Bo Bennett. Family and friends in attendance, as they were last night. And yes, look at this picture. Playing for the LA Junior Kings in 08-09. Bo Bennett. 172.
Kopitar takes the draw against Sidney Crosby and wins it. Green to Trevor Lewis. Back across now, Muzzin to Green and back to Muzzin. Crosby tried to pressure him. This is what the Penguins did so well against the Ducks last night. The forwards kind of hanging back and then pressuring the D as they get the puck if they go D to D.
I love that system there. Muzzin turned that puck over just with that good jump from Crosby jumping in his face. I agree. They were really good at that last night.
Here's Crosby in over the line against Muzzin again. Comes to the goal. He scores. He shot it off the goalpost. I thought it went in, but it went off the post. Crosby with a great burst of speed there against Doughty. The Kings had changed their defense when the Penguins went back for the puck. Now it's Regeer. Off of Hornquist to the corner. That's twice that Crosby has wheeled around Doughty in this game. And he couldn't score that time as he hit the goalpost behind Jonathan Quick.
Well, he undressed him right there. I mean, you know, Drew Doughty's a heck of a defenseman, exceptional. But Sidney Crosby schooled him right there with great hands and great feet. I mean, the way he stick handled and the way he skated around Doughty, that was something special. And not many players, if anybody really goes around Doughty like that, Crosby was unable to match. Doughty unable to match Crosby there.
Here's Martin. Letang shoots it. Big save by Quick. He flopped to the ice and stopped it with his pads. Well, an unorthodox save for sure, but he stopped the puck. Letang didn't really lift it as high as he'd probably like to. Jonathan Quick tumbling to the ice to make the save on Chris Letang. That's the best scoring chance the Penguins have had. And I'm saying that realizing that Crosby had gotten himself behind the defense.
Great opportunities right now against Quick. You got to take advantage of these. You know how big that first goal is here.
King centers it. Shore with control, drops it back. Sekera controls it now for the Kings to Shore. Now for Toffoli, but it's intercepted by Ian Cole. A minute 20 to go in the period. The Penguins would love to survive this period without the Kings getting a goal after having outshot the Penguins to this point 12-5, but there'll be a face-off in the Penguin zone after an icing infraction.
You know, right now they're flying. The Pittsburgh Penguins are absolutely flying right now. And look at Sidney Crosby looking at the puck with Doughty, goes off the bar, and then this chance here, I don't know if it hit the side of the net or if Quick made the save. He was trying to do that cartwheel, and I think it just went off the side of the net there, off Letang's stick. And Quick is like that. He can look exceptional making those kind of Hasek-like saves, but you got to get the puck on net.
I didn't realize he didn't. I was correct again. I thought he got a pass save there. And here comes LaPierre down the wing. Shoots it. And that's off the stick of Green. Green headmans the puck for Williams. Across the ring for Brown. Off his stick, and now Muzzin drives it in. Off the glass. Williams centers and went off the stick of Scuderi. Taken by Cole. He backhands it ahead for Sutter. Brown all over him as he gets into the Penguins in the Kings zone, and then is taken away by Drew Doughty, spinning on his skates. Doughty paired up with Muzzin at the moment, but Muzzin, well, he wanted to head to the bench. Now he does. Kings get Robin Regeer on. Winnick. His shot hits Sutter. He had no idea that was coming. Sutter is hobbling back towards the Penguin bench right now.
Well, the center drive to clear that space, and Winnick trying to get that shot through. Sutter right in the calf.
Here's Pouliot. Dumps it to the left wing. Crosby can't get there. Doughty hammers it off the boards back into the Penguin zone. Ben Lovejoy with it there for Pittsburgh. Only 1 second to go in the period.
It was a good period for the Penguins. They had a couple of power play opportunities that weren't anything really to speak of. Marc-Andre Fleury was enormous. Sidney Crosby is soaring right now, and the Penguins and the Kings are scoreless.
Penguins were 7-2 in the D zone on faceoffs, and they were outshot 12-5 in the first 20 minutes. Let's go to Paul and Jay.
All right, Staggy and Bob, thank you very much. And as Staggy just pointed out, Sid's flying. Great chance there. Yeah. Both teams with chances, but again, that first goal doesn't come in the first period.
Yeah, but Paul, in this one, Marc-Andre Fleury was very good early. So you give the first 10 to 12 minutes to the LA Kings, and after that, Pittsburgh just started to kind of get their legs a little bit more, adjust to the tempo of the game. They had the better opportunities going forward. But again, Marc-Andre Fleury very strong, and then again, nobody scored so far, but you need great goaltending, and again, Marc-Andre Fleury provided that early on in this game.
Penguins have won 7 of the last 9 against the Kings. They'd like to continue that dominance. Jay and I will break down the first period when we come back on our first intermission report. It's presented by your neighborhood Ford store. After a scoreless first period, the Penguins are looking for more of the same from Sidney Crosby. He was flying in that first period. Let's head it back to the Staples Center. Paul Steigerwald and Bob Airy. Guys.
Thank you very much, Paul. Yeah, and Drew Doughty is the guy who saw him flying by a couple times, Bob.
Well, I thought it was Luc Robitaille statue night, and Doughty looked like a statue as Crosby just really undressed him in that first period a couple of times. Look at the backhand. Sidney Crosby with that hand-eye coordination. There's that foot speed and stick handling ability for Crosby going outside. Then he went inside on Doughty, and give Doughty credit. He didn't give up on the play, and he may have affected that shot just a little bit that went off that crossbar goalpost.
Tonight's face-offs are presented by the new face of Northwood Realty on Root Sports.
Well, it was a good period for Crosby, but the Kings had 12 shots on net. Marc-Andre Fleury had to be real good there. Crosby is .647 of ice, but if you want to look at the top ice getters, Letang had .923 and Doughty .926 for the Kings.
This is Derek Pouliot. Lovejoy tried to move it up. Kings clog it up at center. Regier works it to the left wing. Marian Gaborik dumps it to the corner, and Derek Pouliot is there. Backs it nicely off the boards. But then Lovejoy couldn't get it up the wing to Bo Bennett. Stolen away. And Gaborik behind the net. Daniel Winnick goes to work, helping out the defense down low. Pouliot and Lovejoy paired up. Winnick to Sutter. Thankfully, Sutter's okay after taking that Winnick shot late in the first period. Sutter getting in after it against Drew Doughty. Takes him into the wall and then falls down. Of course, Brandon, the nephew of Daryl Sutter, the coach of the Los Angeles Kings. Now here is Drew Doughty with it. Up the right wing to Lewis. Good back pressure there from David Perron, but he dumps the puck in. And back to get it goes Letang. The Kings are changing. Letang sends it to center where Crosby could not touch it. It's an icing call.
I'm pretty sure I got that.
And I know, and I've seen that a couple times tonight where I thought guys touched it at center, but they didn't. That time Sid thinks he did. Let's welcome the Center TV cable viewers in the Warwood area of West Virginia. Thanks for watching and rooting on the Pens. All of us at Root Sports and the Penguins appreciate your support.
Well, apparently Sidney Crosby is going to win the battle here because the faceoff is going to center ice. Guess he touched it. And the referee, who drops the puck to start the game in the periods, does not drop it here at center ice now. It's the line change instead.
And they take it to center when they have deemed that they have made a mistake. So Sid got his way that time with the referees. That doesn't happen too often. Although we did see it happen again in a rather monumental way a couple of weeks ago. Now the puck up the right wing and taken by Tyler Toffoli. He dumps into the Penguin zone. Bounces over the stick of Fleury. Crosby back to the puck. Try to whack it up the wall to Hornquist. Now he's working against Dwight King. Carter centers one. Toffoli moves it to the point. Quick puck movement here. Here's Green shooting. Kicked out. Rebound. Toffoli is stopped by Fleury. Now taken by Muzzin at the point. Out to Toffoli again, a shot. That one was blocked. Crosby got in front of it, and then Martin moved it along. Perron, who got it to center. Perron throws it through for Sidney Crosby. Couldn't reach it. And Matt Green takes it. Green to center ice, dumps it right to the goal. Glove down by Fleury, and he'll hold on to it. There was Toffoli again. Malkin takes a little piece of him as he goes by.
What I've noticed here is the Kings rip these harder rounds, these dumps. Marc-Andre Fleury can't play them because they're too hard. He's trying to get out there and stop them, but they're hard. Fleury tries to go out. You can't knock it down. Then they get offense from that dump in. The Green shot, and the blocker save, and another stop by Marc-Andre Fleury. So really good stuff there. That was Toffoli. He stopped the second time. Tyler Toffoli, how about his numbers? Plus 21 on the season.
He's got 19 goals. He's stuck on 19 for the last 7 games, Bob, trying to get that 20th. Came very close there, didn't he? Oh, Kunis just got knocked down.
Went down hard on his backside. He's getting up a little bit slow here.
Not sure how Dustin Brown knocked him down, but he went down awkwardly there. Now he's skating into the attacking zone, and Como can't get it deep to him. Kunitz kind of laboring to get back right now. And an offside play on the Kings as they enter the Penguin zone.
Yeah, he's hurting right now. He couldn't get back like he wanted to on the back check. It's almost like you're slipping on ice on your driveway, I think, Staggy, when you go down hard on your backside. Let's take a look. There's Kunitz. Gets his feet taken out and bang. Really went down hard on the ice. That's a trip. See the skates coming in there and knocking him down? That's a blatant trip by Dustin Brown. And we talked about that earlier. What was the word I used? You said a little love tap on the back of Letang. That was more than a love tap. That was on purpose. A lot of times you see Brown do that with a goaltender.
Now Downey barging in, and I think he got upended. And there'll be a penalty on the Kings for holding as Downey was charging to the goal.
Penguins from the face-off, where they were 13-12 in the first period of play. That neutral zone face-off, jumping on the puck as much as they can. They win that battle, chip it around Sekera, and getting on that puck. You can see that hold on Downey as he got right on top of Quick.
Braden McNabb.
Kunitz back on the ice for the power play, so apparently he's all right.
And it's Kunitz, Crosby, and Hornquist up front with Letang and Malkin at the points, and the Kings win the faceoff. For the Kings, it is Robin Regeer and Drew Doughty defensively. Dustin Brown and Anze Kopitar up front. So you got Kopitar, one of the great offensive players in the game, killing the penalty here. Keep your eye on that. Here's a chance now for Hornquist. Behind the net to Malkin. And around now for Kunitz. Kunitz sends it right back to Gino below the goal line. Different look here for the Penguins on this power play. Here's Letang up top. Now for Kunitz. Kunitz back to Letang. Over to Chris Kunitz. Hornquist is in front. This is Malkin. Malkin to Letang. Doesn't shoot it. Kunitz does, and it's blocked by Doughty.
It was a great block, but nonetheless, the Penguins just refused to shoot the puck from the middle of the ice there. And Chris Letang had a dry spell on the power play, to say the least.
Malkin to Kunitz, couldn't take the pass cleanly, and the Kings are able to clear.
49 games without that power play goal. And it was a good fake, and it was a good block by Doughty. Just love to see the Penguins register a few more shots.
Malkin sends it across the ice off the stick of Crosby to Hornquist. Muzzin confronts him. And Carter, another top offensive guy, killing the penalty, backhands the puck down the ice. And look out, Fleury pressured by Toffoli, gets it to Letang. 32 seconds to go on the McNabb penalty. Penguins are 0 for 2 on the power play already, and just trying to get that first goal. This is a golden example of when the power play goal can make all the difference in the world. How many sometimes, it's when. Here's Sutter with it. Downey's in front of the goal. Perron, Letang. Brister just missed it out. Rebound! Backhand try by Sutter. How did it stay out? I think Matt Green made the save. Sutter had his back to the net, and he had an empty cage. And now McNabb out of the box. Letang doesn't know he's there, but it doesn't matter because he's able to clear the puck to the right wing boards, and Downey's got it there. Downey steps into the zone. Sutter heading to the net. Downey has no juice left, and he bumps Muzzin and then takes the pass from Sutter. Downey to Sutter. Sutter sends it in deep. David Perron there for the Penguins. So the Penguins continue to work here after not scoring on the power play, but Matt Green's got it for the Kings. And Green works it back to the Penguin line and then takes a hit from Max Lapierre. Scuderi to Cole, to Martin, or for Winnick rather to Martin, and Martin dumps it in. And Green goes back and he gets hit again. Penguins playing physically against the Kings. Give them a taste of their own medicine a little bit.
They're really moving their feet here. Couple of big blocks, Doughty and Green on the penalty kill for the Kings. And that second one by Green, all because Letang just wristed that puck in off the back wall.
Scuderi sends it ahead off the stick of Lapierre to the corner. Sekera goes back for it. Smalling's on him. He sends it back in behind the goal to McNabb. Braden McNabb sent it out to center, turned it over. Kunitz. Good work in the neutral zone by the Penguins. The Kings having trouble getting through center ice. And they'll regroup again.
A lot of time.
Kunitz and Malkin out here for the Penguins. Now McNabb dumps it in and Lovejoy goes back for it. Trevor, I think that's Kyle Clifford in on him, number 13. He hit him, but the Penguins get the puck. It's Kunitz coming to center. Lost a stick. Must have broken on him, and he just kicks it into the zone and goes to the bench, gets a new stick. But he does stay on the bench, and here's Malkin with a backhander on the short side, and the save made by Quick. Another chance for Malkin, and that one's off the stick of Robin Regeer, and out of play.
Malkin working on the backhand, but it was the blocks of the Kings. First, Doughty, and then Green on Sutter.
Well, we are still looking for our first goal here in Los Angeles, and you know what? You never know who you're going to see here in LA. And how about former Pirates shortstop Jack Wilson? That's right, the SoCal native here tonight as his son Jacob celebrates his 13th birthday with a little party in his suite. His birthday's actually not for a couple more weeks, but it's okay. They did it when the Penguins were in town. And speaking of Jack and the Pirates, just a reminder, the Buccos' first spring training game is coming up on March 15th. The Bucks and the O's are coverage beginning at 12:30. Happy birthday to Jacob, and hello, Jack.
Derek Pouliot backing up with the puck now. Pressure it by Tyler Toffoli, sends it up the boards. Sneaky little play there into the middle by David Perron. The Kings don't get it, and it's dumped in by the Penguins' Lovejoy. He goes to the bench, and the puck comes to Crosby, and a blast. Hornquist has it to Sid. The shot, he tried to sneak it into the short side. It went wide. David Perron for Crosby, spinning away from Carter, throwing it in front, and Hornquist jamming away at it, and it stays out.
He's still whacking at Quick. The puck was long gone. He had no idea to Hornquist, and he and Quick are getting into it right now. Quick tripping up Hornquist right now with his stick on the skates as the Kings come to Quick's aid. Wow. Hornquist reminds me of another Swede who used to play with me, Samuelsson, the way he got in there.
Robin Regeer discussing matters with David Perron.
Boy, you love Hornquist, to what he brings, that battle level, that enthusiasm to play the game, that passion.
He draws a crowd, doesn't he?
Oh, take a look at this Staggy. Crosby. And then they converge on the net. Look at Hornquist's going to keep whacking. He's going to whack again. Watch. There's another way. He has no idea where the puck is. And then Quick gets into it with Hornquist. And then teammates come to the aid. Then there's a stick of, see, Quick stick under the skate of Hornquist. Quite a battle there.
What does he compete? And what a great personality Patrick Hornquist has. He's a very outgoing person, stand-up guy. Great acquisition by Jimmy Rutherford for sure.
Puck up into the bench. Face-off come outside.
Hornquist coming in with 21 goals. He has as many goals as James Neal does in 10 fewer games.
Hornquist is going to clean off that visor here. Get it adjusted.
From the draw, the puck is dumped in by Cole. Up off the glass. Kopitar with it. Kopitar has only 2 goals in his last 19 games. Did score the deciding goal in the shootout the other night against the Montreal Canadiens. A rare shootout win for the Kings, by the way. Here's Gabrick behind the net. Kopitar after it. Rolls up the wall. Pinching down is Sekera to keep it in. Boy, that first goal in this game looming large right now, isn't it?
Darn right. Where do we go along here with these netminders? They're giving up nothing.
With a hit from behind. No penalty. A shot stopped by Fleury, and now it's McNabb. Looking at both referees, thinking one of them might have his arm up, but nothing was called. Left wing pass. Clifford tried to get it to the net. It goes over to the near wall. The Kings are dialing it up here physically right now. Now Winnick gets involved with Lewis. And you could just feel the Kings turning it up a notch physically after that situation around the net with Patrick Hornquist.
Trying to impose their will on the Penguins. Penguins just keep playing hockey. Still got to get more shots on Quick. Only 6 Penguin shots in this game. We're almost halfway through this game right now. And the Penguins have won 6 straight games against the Kings when they score first, and they've lost each of the 5 previous times when LA scored first. So there's the shots to the chest. You want to stay away from the head area and really want to take that extra penalty in this kind of situation. That first goal, yeah, it's looming large right now. And Cole is in the box for interference.
He's the one who threw the hit from behind and thought maybe he'd get a penalty. Didn't on that, but he does pick up an interference penalty now.
So a big kill here for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and you just have that feeling that the momentum is shifting because the Penguins' power play with those opportunities didn't get the job done, and the penalty killing of the Kings has given them some momentum here, which they'll now try to take advantage of on the power play. But there's a face-off win. Pierre winning the draw, and the puck cleared by the Penguins. Here come the Kings with a man advantage. Kopitar had to roll off his stick. Penguins get control, and Spaulding softly sent it down the wall. Yes, the Penguins have only 1 shot in the period. The Kings with 3, looking to add to that total here on the power play. Drew Doughty brings it up. Drives it in. This time Fleury able to get a stick on it. Nothing more than that. And now Martin in the corner. And taken away by the Kings. Toffoli. Out to Sekera. Toffoli. Checked by Winnick. Backing up. Handing it off to Carter. Gabrick dangerous in front of the net. Centers it. Comes all the way through. Doughty a blast. He missed the net. And it comes right back to the point in Sekera. Back to Doughty. A shot. Save made by Fleury. The rebound skirts away. And we see what Doughty's doing. That's what we need to see Letang do. We don't see that from Chris Letang. Those big one-timers wide open, blasting the puck like that. Now Doughty moves it up the right wing to Williams.
Be anybody for that matter. Just get the pucks to the net.
Now here is Gabrick sending it up the wall. And all the way down the ice. 10-12 remaining in this second period. This is a power play for the Kings. They've got 31 seconds remaining on the penalty to Cole to work with here. Penguins doing a good job so far. Fleury has been the Penguins' best penalty killer tonight. There's a chance now for Spaulding to get it out, getting down, and he does off the glass, and it hops right to the stick of McNabb. McNabb works into the right wing to Williams.
Good
poke check by Scuderi.
Great job, Williams.
And now we're down to only 5 seconds to go, and here's Malkin. Hit by Muzzin. 1 second left. Out of the box comes Cole. Martin moves it to Malkin. Brown rubs him off the puck, and it's taken now by McNabb, who backhands it up the right wing. Dragged ahead by Clifford. Good back pressure on him by Como, who knocked him into Letang, and the puck goes behind the net. Now Como and Clifford tangled up a bit. The puck is carried ahead by Kunitz. Looks up the left wing for Como. This will be icing. Doughty back to touch. Prior to the game, Luc Robitaille's statue was unveiled outside the Staples Center, and it is a beautiful bronze statue depicting him celebrating a goal, and why not, the all-time leading goal scorer. And only this, Day Automotive, on this very date, the statue to honor Mario Lemieux was unveiled in Pittsburgh. And Mario was on hand for the Luc Robitaille statue unveiling.
He was. He and Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky had the first one out there. First of 7 back in 2002, unveiled.
The timekeeper issue right now.
Yeah, they dropped the puck there. Another second or two. Bronze and granite statue out there for Lucky Luke.
Other statues? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jerry West, Chick Hearn, longtime broadcaster for the Lakers, Magic Johnson, the great one, Gretzky, and Oscar De La Hoya.
Good-looking statue.
Doughty shoots it. Oh, that one just glanced off of Fleury's equipment. It goes out to Regeer. To the corner now. Shore let it go through. Take it in the corner. Clifford bumped off the puck, but now Shore with it. Nick Shore works it to the point to Regeer. Robin Regeer sends it back down behind the net. Clifford is there. Martin trying to get it away from him. This is Shore with it. Knocked him. Nolan with a good chance in the high slot. Fleury was in perfect position, and it thumped off his left pad. Now Malkin leaves it for Paul Martin. Good opportunity for Jordan Nolan, son of Ted Nolan, the coach of the Buffalo Sabres.
Marc-Andre Fleury with the night off last night. 13-3-3 in the last 19 times. He started a game after resting the previous one, and boy, is he sharp right now.
Letang to Paul Martin, and right back to Chris Letang, and he gives it right back to Paul Martin. Up the wing it goes for Crosby. Doesn't connect, and another icing infraction against Pittsburgh. Bob, I want to ask you about that. In a situation like that, when the D are kind of standing there in their own zone and working it back and forth, and it kind of bogs down, would you want the forwards to turn and come back, or what do you think they should do there?
Well, you saw Crosby was well over the line. I mean, he had already kind of exited the defensive zone and was waiting for the pass right away. It wasn't there, so the D went D to D a couple of times, and that's where you just have to try to be patient. You can actually take it all the way back behind your own net if you want to, and show that kind of patience.
Hornquist is run into over there on the far wall. Jake Muzzin, the man who hit him. Muzzin plays a physical game.
Yeah.
There's a kind of a misconception that the Penguins gave up on the guy. He told me earlier in the year when he was in Pittsburgh that he was horrible. He wasn't a good player. He said, I don't blame the Penguins for not signing me. I wasn't any good. So kind of a different story coming from him than what we had heard about the situation with the Penguins not signing him after they had drafted him. Now here's McNabb. He works it ahead.
Downey stick was knocked out of his hands. He's trapped behind the play.
Williams cuts in, drops it off, and McNabb didn't know the pass was coming, and nothing happens. The Penguins are able to get it back. Perron hit the referee with it, but now it's taken by Rob Scuderi. And Scuderi looks up. Nowhere to go again. He just dumps it into the Kings zone. Downey's going to get in after it against McNabb. Gets that stick up in his face a bit. Tried to center it. And it couldn't come through to Spalling, and now up the left wing it's Gaborik with blinding speed. Shooting, and he got rid of it early, and Fleury makes the save. And then Cole takes Gaborik right into the end boards.
As he should. There's the Gazelle. Gaborik streaming down that left side. You want to finish him off, and then you just want to turn your cheek, and that's exactly what Cole did. Exactly what he wanted to do. 0-0 in LA.
Well, we're still looking for our first goal here at Staples Center between the Penguins and the Kings. For just 6 shots on goal, why has it been so difficult for you to get your offense rolling, finding time and space against their defense?
Well, they're a big team, and they clog up the middle. But, we've had 3 or 4 prime A chances, a couple empty nets. So I don't know if the 6 shots is indicative of the game. I think that, obviously we got to get more shots. We want that shooter's mentality. They block a lot of shots. And when people are blocking a lot of shots, you got to make sure you get in front of them and you got to battle them. But we had some prime chances there that if we stick with it, we'll be okay.
All right, Rick, thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Guys.
Thanks, Danny.
And the Penguins also have the benefit at the other end of one Marc-Andre Fleury, who has been very sharp here, stopping all 18 shots he's faced. 7 minutes remaining in the second period.
Yeah, the best opportunities were getting the shots to the net. Cole did it on a redirect. Hornquist scored in the last game against Anaheim, and then Letang right at the end of the power play shot one wide. It came off the back wall, and Sutter a great opportunity right as the penalties had expired from the Kings.
These players are starting to develop a healthy dislike for one another here. So look at what Fleury has done so far, Bob. Some pretty good work.
19 saves here so far. And he's standing up. A lot of high shots early from the Kings. And Marc-Andre Fleury, no rebound in that situation. There has been a couple in front of him. But boy, he's been square to the shooter almost every shot, and he hasn't been sliding out of the net at all. None of that east to west kind of stuff when he was young, and kind of used his athleticism a lot more than his positioning now.
He has matured into a great one. Here's a shot and stopped. Sekera let it go, and Fleury made the save. The rebound stays with the Kings. Back to the net. Ooh, they look for a deflection there. On the doorstep was Andrzej Kopitar. He was trying to redirect one. And you see how Sekera could just get the puck to the net. It's an effective thing from the blue line, number 7. Now he dumps it into the corner. Pouliot is there. He's run into by Dustin Brown, but Brandon Sutter cleans up his own zone. Gave it away to the Kings. McNabb trying to come to the net. And there's going to be a penalty here. And McNabb had the puck, so it's going to be against the Kings.
I think it's not a good penalty here. Maybe a slash. A high stick. Against the Kings in the offensive zone, Sekera. And the shots are 20-6 now. In the last hockey game, Kings had a 20-5 shot advantage on the Canadians and ended up down. And there's the high stick as Winnick went out and pushed him off the blue line.
Well, this is another phenomenal power play opportunity for the Penguins here. They kind of opened the door here for the Penguins, didn't they, with that penalty after they were putting some pressure on in the Penguin zone. Here's Crosby with it to Malkin. Malkin moves it along for Kunitz. Hornquist is in front of the net.
No stick, Brown.
Sidney Crosby to Malkin to Letang. Letang to Malkin to Crosby. Regeer is down, centering pass for Kunitz. King's able to get it. Kopitar's going to carry it here, shorthanded. But it's poked off a stick by Hornquist. And the Penguins regroup. Letang's going to carry the puck this time. Now Malkin decides he's going to take it into the corner. There's a stick on the ice. Malkin hit hard by Regeer, but protects the puck up the wall for Crosby. Crosby swings it along for Letang. Over to Chris Kunitz. Kunitz right back to Chris Letang. Letang to Malkin. The Penguins just not letting those shots go. Malkin with it again. Letang finally shoots one, and a save made, and the rebound controlled by the Kings. Carter, he's going to try the Penguins here shorthanded. He dumps it behind Letang, and Fleury stops it behind the goal. And there's Carter right there, trying to take it away from him. Fleury protects the puck there, but shielding Carter away from it as it went to the corner. And Crosby carries it back now for Pittsburgh into the power play to Malkin. Back to Crosby coming to the goal, turns the cage. Crosby looks around for an opening to shoot it, instead goes to Letang. 30 seconds to go on the penalty. Crosby down the slot, backhander stopped by Quick. Now for Malkin, he centers, redirected on the net by Kunitz. They jam away at it, and Quick somehow keeps it out of there.
He made some great saves there. The best one was a backhand against Crosby. Chris Letang let one go from the high slot that was redirected. Another good chance, but here's the backhand by Crosby. Working against Muzzin. There's the shot redirect by Kunitz, and they just start chopping away to the pads of Quick, who was able to smother it and keep it out. The best chances for the Penguins. They get 3 shots right there on that power play.
Well, both goaltenders have been impenetrable here tonight. 24 seconds remaining on the penalty to Sekera. Big face-off here for the second power play unit. Sutter taking the draw against Andrzej Kopitar. Lefty against righty. Sutter burrows in there, and the Penguins win the draw. And it's Martin moving into the right side. Pouliot center. Sutter trying to work it along for Perron. Be careful here. Martin's back. Kopitar shoots it long and blocked away by Fleury. 8 seconds to go on the penalty. On the latest edition of Inside Penguins Hockey, Patrick Hornquist is mic'd up for warm-ups in Calgary. Bo Bennett shows off some of his musical talents and much more. Inside Penguins Hockey airs tonight after postgame on Root Sports.
Oh, you got to check that out. Look at him tickling the ivories.
LaPierre to take the face-off here. He's on the ice at the end of this Penguins power play. There's only a few seconds remaining on it. LaPierre wins the draw to Paul Martin. LaPierre, Como, and Spaulding on the ice. Martin and Pouliot. Penguins one more rush. Here comes LaPierre to the Kings zone. Protects the puck, dumps it in behind the net. Muzzin is there. Spaulding hot on his trail. And good work by Spaulding to disrupt the flow of the Kings there. Now they move it to center. Sekera, who just came out of the box, taps it off the wall, and the Penguins quickly go in transition. LaPierre shoots it long, and Quick decides he'd better hold on for a face-off. And LaPierre driving right to the net. And there he is smiling again, and I'm sure that smile is not one that is one of pleasure.
Speaking of ivories, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of gets under the skin of the opposing players.
There's a big hockey fan, Matthew Perry. Who says there's no friends around here? Steggy? Come on.
He loves to play hockey, too. There are a lot of guys in Hollywood who love to play the game and get together to play.
Yeah. Well, the Penguins 9 shots now. 21's the fewest they've registered this season.
They have 4 shots on 4 power play opportunities tonight. Another night at Anaheim, they had more shots shorthanded than they did on the power play. Carter bumps Cole. Sutter gets in after it. Dwight King working hard along the wall. Carter centers. Not a good pass. It goes past everybody. And skating back after it is Andre Sekera. Quick kind of half fanned on that attempt to get it to him. Now Toffoli is bumped on the wall, but he got the puck towards Carter. Taken away from him by Winnick. Good play by Daniel Winnick to drop it back on defense. Letang to Paul Martin. Martin up the wing for Sutter. He tried to steer it into the middle for Winnick. And now Winnick takes the puck of the neutral zone and drops it off to Paul Martin. Back across for Kunitz off his shin pad. He'll slide it back to Letang. Now Letang lugs the puck ahead for Kunitz. Swings it into the King zone. Como comes onto the ice as well as Malkin, so they get that full complement on that line. Penguins second line, Malkin, Kunitz, and Como. Now taken by Paul Martin. Dustin Brown applying pressure to Letang. Gets it to Kunitz. Now Kunitz carries into the King zone. Shoots it long, and the save made by Quick. And another face-off coming up with 2:46 to go in the second period. And don't forget, we will have Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Last minute there was just all a chess match. Teams controlling the neutral zone. Not a lot of room here as we get to the tail end of the second period of play.
Sidney Crosby leaning in to take the draw against Jared Stoll. Crosby won it. The shot by Pouliot, a good one. And waving at it was Quick. Now Perron at the wall. Trying to get it into the corner. Hornquist battles to get possession to Pouliot. His shot. And Quick makes the save on Derek Pouliot. You're not going to get too many freebies from Jonathan Quick, are you? Now here's a bank pass by Lovejoy. Rocketed that one off the boards, and it goes down the ice. No icing on the play.
The battler, Olympic netminder, Team USA.
And Jared Stoll with some room into the Penguin zone. Pouliot backing in. Doughty's shot. Fleury just shrugs it away with a blocker. Made it look easy. Pouliot back to the puck again. Up the wall for Hornquist. Doughty pinches down on him, but the puck comes out. Taken by Muzzin. Now for Lewis. Trevor Lewis. Justin Williams. Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Shoots it long. And again, the blocker directs it to the wall. Spaulding tried to clear. He's working hard there, as is Lapierre. Now Hornquist just banks it off the boards to neutral ice. Down to 1:38 to go in the second period. Back to get it goes Lovejoy. Shoved to the ice by Jordan Nolan. And that's the physicality of the Kings on display right there. Now the puck still up for grabs here. Squirts behind the net. Lapierre from his backside wheeled the puck into the corner. One of the Kings has lost his lid. That is Kyle Clifford.
And the goaltender lost his glove, Marc-Andre Fleury, so the referee blew the whistle because he had lost his glove. Lovejoy just got driven by Nolan. That shove to the back of the numbers. And there's that power game as they go to the net. Jamming away. The puck was underneath the glove of Fleury, and they deemed it lost sight of it.
And that shove, you don't like shoves. I know you don't like them, but if you're going to shove a guy, don't shove him into the boards. That actually was a pretty impressive defensive play there by Jordan Nolan.
Yeah. Just a strong, really strong play. I'm not a big fan of when you get a lot of momentum on a defenseman and you're shoving him into the boards there when there's other ways to do things.
Clifford having trouble buckling up. He'll go over to the bench. Be replaced by Jeff Carter stepping onto the ice.
Can't play without a helmet. Well, you can't. You can't start the shift
Your helmet not working.
Let's see what Carter does with his opportunity to jump on in place of it. The Penguins able to win the draw, and down he comes to center ice, trying to gain the red line, just surrounded by those Kings jerseys. Shore to Carter. Scuderi, good gap on him. Oh, a physical play there on Shore. Now he's run over by Nolan. We drill him into the boards. Big hit again by Jordan Nolan there on Ian Cole.
Well, the puck he lost the puck a little bit. He was looking down in his feet, and it was a fair hit. Had to know it was coming. You could see it from a long way away.
When you see the Kings, how they can play that way, Bob, you get a picture of why they wear teams down over the course of a series. It's one thing to do it on one night. How about doing it on 6, 7 consecutive nights?
Yeah, they're pretty confident. They know you going into a series is, they just have to win 4 games before you do. And the Sharks were up 3-0 against them last year. That wasn't enough.
The Tang floats one wide of the goal. 19 seconds to go in the period. Another hit by Kunitz, this time on Williams, who lost his stick. The Penguins trying to answer back here. Now Stoll lifts it inside the line, handled there by Letang. Snaps it ahead. Malkin reaching for it. Slides into the Kings zone with only 3 seconds remaining, and this game still scoreless after 40 minutes of play. And a great goaltending battle, but mostly the Kings getting more shots, obviously. But I thought Rick Talker made a good point. The Penguins have had some pretty good opportunities too.
They have. You just keep plugging away, and maybe one's enough to win this one tonight.
Shots are 22-11 through 2 periods of play in favor of the Kings. Let's go to Paul and Jay.
All right, Steg and Bob, thank you very much. Right now, Jay, we'll see the numbers later on in this intermission, but I think there's more hits than there are shots right now.
Yeah, but it was wild. You got to look at the attempts and what they had at the net. Pittsburgh did against Quick. He made some phenomenal saves, kept the puck out of that, just as there was for Marc-Andre Fleury too. But for only 11 shots on net, it's kind of wild because there has been a lot of action around Quick. One thing you can't stress enough, they are passing up on shots on the power play. It's a given, without a doubt. Right. Look at what they're generating. It's about shots to the net, and then you just attack. If you're not scoring, it's certainly not working what they're doing now. Just get the puck to the net. It was a simple wrist shot where you got more activity than all the other puck movement for right now. That's not to say that talent can't take over later. Get the puck to the net just the way LA, teams struggle in certain things, but when it's really going bad, get the puck to the net, drive, and they're all crashing in the net. You'll get rewarded that way.
We're scoreless through 2 periods of play at the Staples Center. Dan Potash standing by with Brandon Sutter. We'll have that interview, telestration, and some highlights when we come back on the Mercedes second intermission report right after this on Root Sports. The Penguins and the Kings are scoreless through 2 periods of play. In case you're just joining us, here's what you missed, and it's presented by your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealer.
Sue feeds it up the left wing for Gaborik. He's got a step, he shoots, and Fleury stands up to stop him. Quick puck movement here. Here's Green shooting. Kicked out. Rebound. Toffoli is stopped by Fleury. Perron. Letang. Brister just missed it out. Rebound. Backhand try by Sutter. How did it stay out? I think Matt Green made the save. Well, we are in a 0-0 game, but I would imagine if those 3 guys were playing in the game, there'd be some goals in the net. Wouldn't you think so, Bob? I would think there would be. Wayne Gretzky, Luc Robitaille, and Mario Lemieux standing in front of that statue, and boy, some shows they put on over the course of their careers.
Wow, what a photo op right there. That's something you wouldn't want to miss, and Robitaille right in the middle of that. Wow,
great stuff. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference standings right now. There's a lot of games played today and finished up. You see the Penguins now 5 points behind the Islanders, who were defeated by the Florida Panthers in a shootout. Florida only 2 points behind Boston now. Yeah. Montreal won again.
They all won. Washington, Boston, Florida, Montreal, Tampa. Islanders lost, got a point. These 3-point games, it's hard to figure, and Penguins just got to keep winning. Gaborik, 5 shots. He looks dangerous on the ice.
He's one of the real great skaters in the game. Maybe not quite as much like a greyhound as he used to be, but still dangerous with that stutter step move that he has. Can shift gears, Gaborik. Here's Pouliot, a good skater, as he dumps the puck into the Kings zone. Here went back and took his man hard into the end boards. Brandon Sutter. Now the Kings starting from their own zone. Drew Doughty with it. Doughty picking his way. Hands it off to Gaborik. Forced away from him by Winnick. Penguins change up as Robin Regeer has it now for the Kings. Doughty up the right wing. Toffoli gives ground, gets his feet moving. Runs into traffic, gains the red line though, and dumps it in. King in there against Paul Martin. Paul Martin won the battle, but then the puck rolled away from him. Carter tried to center, picked off by Crosby, who finds Hornquist on the right wing. He hit Muzzin with it, and it goes behind the net. Quicks quickly sent it around. Hornquist got a stick on it to get it to Crosby. Crosby, nice pass to Letang. He shoots it and it's blocked. Now in front, turning shot. Oh, it just went wide as Perron had his back to the net, turned it back against the grain a bit.
Good example. Just getting the puck to the net there, even though it's blocked, it's sitting in front, and those forwards can do some damage.
Martin set it up the wall, and Como can't catch up with it. Taken now by Williams. Como chasing him. Cole trying to keep it alive in the King zone. Dumps it in behind the goal. Regeer on his backhand. Off the wall for Williams. Bounced off his stick back to the front of the net. Now Williams tries again on the wall. Kunitz comes over. He flips it by him to center ice where Scuderi moves it along to Ian Cole. Back to Scuderi and ahead now to Malkin. He comes deep. Snaps it ahead down to Kunitz. Kunitz for Como. Malkin. He just couldn't find the handle there as he came down the slot. Como with it again.
Right in his wheelhouse.
Behind the net for Gino, who's dumped behind the goal. I think he tripped over the cage and then it was dislodged.
And Nadine, that he knocked it off its moorings. The faceoff comes outside, and the Penguins, Letang just wristing the puck to the net. It hit Muzzin out in front. It just laid there, and a great opportunity for Perron. After the Penguins just stayed on that puck. Look at how active Hornquist is. Hornquist with one hand on the stick was able to shuffle it off to Perron. Perron's just looking for some bounces. Trying to get the wingers some room here as they drop the puck in the neutral zone. You know, the hash marks wide apart, you know, the circles, and everybody likes to converge on the centers.
And LaPierre, righty, won the faceoff against Nick Shore, a righty. Penguins dumped it in, but the Kings come right back out, and it's Shore with it. His brother Drew Shore, who also played at Denver, is now with the Calgary Flames, had been with the Florida Panthers. Nick Shore, an all-star in the American Hockey League. Sekera moves it along to Nolan, who dumps it in. Fleury again had an issue with it there off the glass, but it came right to the Penguins on the wall, and Downey sends it long wide of the goal. Sekera goes back to get it. LaPierre in on the forecheck. Sekera to McNabb, and he dumps it right back out to center where Gaborik, Lovejoy has a little trouble with it, but now it's picked up by Clifford, and he shoots it off of Pouliot wide of the goal. Clifford gets after it off the rebound and bumped from behind by Sutter, who took the puck away from him nicely. And Sutter trying to barrel his way back out, couldn't get to the neutral zone. Centering pass for Muzzin off his stick and right to Derek Pouliot. Pouliot right up the middle. On his way to the bench. Dumped it in. Quick moves it to the corner. Green ahead for Kopitar. A nice little pass to the right wing to Lewis. Now for Kopitar. Back to Lewis. Gaborik's in front. Lewis shot it on net. Fleury made the save. Muzzin moves up. Sends it in behind. But Cole cut it off. And Ian Cole gets the puck to the blue line no further as Muzzin dumps it right back into the corner where Scuderi will take it. Back up the wall for Cole, who returns it to Scuderi. And Rob Scuderi has more room. Snaps it over to his partner again. Cole comes into the middle. Sends it ahead where it's steered in over the line. And now the Kings prevent the Penguins from getting possession as Bo Bennett had ideas.
No room in the neutral zone at all. These teams all have at least three guys back in the neutral zone. It's all going to be one on the dumpings. You got to get there, get in on that puck, and try to work it from the corner.
Bennett heads to the bench. Perron Crosby and Hornquist on the ice for Pittsburgh. Letang stepped up to poke it to the Kings line. King finds Doughty jumping in. Doughty around Martin, shoots it, and a save by Fleury on Drew Doughty. He kind of caught Martin flat-footed a bit there and got himself free for the shot. Pirates playback wraps up next week with the Pirates game against the Braves September 23rd. You can relive the excitement of the Pirates clinch game when they beat the Braves to secure a playoff berth for the second consecutive season. Pirates playback Monday at 6 on Root Sports.
Well, when you hit Doughty, you hit a defenseman with a late pass. Everybody's standing still. Doughty had a little head of steam there, and he's hunched over at the bench. I don't know if he's tired or if he took a whack after that shot there coming in late, Staggy, but he's certainly uncomfortable.
He's on 12 games without a goal. That might make him uncomfortable too. Here's Muzzin shooting. He scored. They wave it off.
They're going to wave it off. Dustin Brown. Fleury unable to make an attempt to make the save on there with Dustin Brown right in his face. Right from the face-off. Take a look. 23, Dustin Brown. He bumped right into Marc-Andre Fleury. Put his pants right into the mask of Marc-Andre Fleury. He was in the blue paint, no goal. Fleury unable to make an attempt to stop that shot from the point. We've seen that happen in the last couple of starts from Fleury, have we not? Goals been disallowed from the opposition. Break Pittsburgh.
Now the Penguins will try to get one here. Penguins with 11 shots against the Kings, the stingy Kings. And the Kings have only 24 against the Penguins. Playing in the second of back-to-backs for Pittsburgh, third period. You would think that the advantage would be to Los Angeles, the rested team. Penguins will have to dig down deep. And now they start out. Here comes Como to center ice. Como to Malkin. Back to Kunitz. His shot, and it's blocked. And the bouncing puck is picked up by Brown. The captain of the Kings moves it ahead. Stoll tried to bank it off the boards into the zone, but the Penguins end up with it, and it's Como dropping it off to Derek Pouliot. Pouliot, only 21 years old. Getting a lot of opportunities here, playing with Ben Lovejoy, and become a solid member of the Penguins defensive unit. Here comes Lovejoy gaining the red line and dumping it into the Kings zone. Sekera under pressure. Lapierre got in there along with Doughty, but it squirts right over to McNabb. Up the wall now for Kyle Clifford and into the middle where it's knocked down by Cole. Cole ahead for Lapierre, just steered it in. Sekera fell down. Downey trying to get to it, bumps Shore. Now Downey able to get to the puck again to Spaulding, and he drives it hard around. Quick couldn't stop it. Nolan sends it behind the net for Sekera. Good touch passing there by the Kings to get out of their zone. And now it is Nolan reaching back for the puck. Ahead now for Shore, but Cole got back to cut him off. And then he felt the pressure coming and sent it up the wall to Doughty. Doughty, great move off the boards. Doughty works it along for Regeer into the slot. Shore, and that's stopped by Fleury. He shot it towards the far post. And Doughty takes it to neutral ice.
Part of the keys. Good start, but you got to finish strong against this King team, a desperate hockey team. On the outside looking in, trying to get to that playoff spot. They know if they can get in, they can win.
Here's Hornquist with it. Hornquist feeds it along now. Crosby against Regeer. Hornquist as well. Perron trying to get a hold of it. The Kings able to work it back to center. Letang for Paul Martin. Martin ahead now for Perron. Over to Chris Letang. Letang left it for Hornquist, who dumps it into the Kings zone. Green goes back for it now for Los Angeles.
See the way they lock it down. The Penguins still looking for a first shot. Look out. Hornquist ran over somebody.
He ran over Green. Nothing called on that as he plowed into him over on the wall. Wow. Now Kopitar takes a hip check from Paul Martin. That was textbook there by Paul Martin on Anze Kopitar.
Oh, it's heating up right now.
Bodies are flying all of a sudden. Yep, both teams.
This is great. This is good hockey right now, like a playoff game.
It's different than the game we saw here a couple of years ago. It was all hack and whack. This is more clean hitting. Here's Malkin with it now.
Now you got to maintain your composure in this 0-0 game. Play to the line, not over it.
There goes Toffoli. Great back-checking pressure by Como, and then Carter couldn't reach Toffoli's pass. It's a good thing because he had a lot of room there. Now Pouliot over to get it. And against Toffoli, he got body position on him. The Penguins are doing a good job of battling to space to get to pucks against this Kings team. This is There's a real heavyweight battle right now between these two clubs. Drew Doughty with it. Snaps it along now for Dustin Brown. Into the middle. Williams trying to keep it alive. Another hit on the near side by Lovejoy. Back to the corner they go. Another collision down there between Pouliot and Williams. Jared Stoll works the corner, as does Williams. Sent it up the boards towards Regier, but Bo Bennett picked it off, and he is able to bring it back to center. Slithering his way into the Kings zone, but it rolled off his stick. Now Doughty sends it around, but the only man there to take it is Scuderi. Back to the net save. Rebound. Sutter couldn't drag it to the forehand. And Williams headman's the puck to Dustin Brown. Brown has a man cutting in down the right wing. And instead he sent it behind the net. That man is Stoll. He's there now, but now Winnick is able to skate away with the puck. Daniel Winnick for Pittsburgh. Turning back, finding Cole to Scuderi. And now off the boards for Sutter. Brandon Sutter just threw it into the middle. Scuderi skates to the puck. And softly dumps it into the Kings zone. Quick shuffles it over to the corner. Sekera around for McNabb. Up the wall for Clifford, who banks it ahead. And Letang waiting there. He tried an angular pass that was picked off by Nolan cutting in. And Letang got over to break up his pass intended for Clifford. Martin ahead for Hornquist, who steered at the center. And Matt Green sends it right back to the goal. And Letang steaming down the right side. He had a little room there and he took it. Muzzin fumbles the puck for a moment. Turns and makes a nice play to get it out to Kopitar, who found Gabrick. Converging on him was Letang and Crosby. And now Green gets to the puck. Stick on the ice. Green shoots it. And it's blocked in front. Backhander. Oh, Fleury just made a great save. Gabrick stopped as well. Fleury with two big saves there. Green with it again on the right wing board. Sent it down low for Kopitar. Stepping up to the puck now for the Kings. Lewis dumps it in behind the goal, and it's going to be taken by Sidney Crosby. Crosby just wheels the puck back to center.
Wow, Gabrick dangerous again. He made a play to the point, went to the front of the net, and Flower stood tall. Keeping it 0-0 here against Marion Gabrick. The Kings had 6 players on the ice there for a second. They let that change go.
The battle continues for the puck, and it's taken now by Steve Downey, who dumps it in. A hit by Toffoli on LaPierre. Carter takes the puck, throws it across the ice for Dwight King. And then the big winger comes down the wall and dumps it in. He's 6'4", 230. King shuffles it along for Toffoli. LaPierre watching him. So he sends it back to the point to McNabb. The wrister, Fleury the save. That came through traffic too. The Kings get to the rebound. It's King again. Los Angeles having their way right now as they're winning the battles to the puck and getting shots on net. The Penguins just trying to survive right now. Penguins had 11 shots through 2 periods. They have 1 on the board here in the third. 8:44 to go in the period. Another chance coming to the net. Brown. Fleury again shuts the door on Dustin Brown. Williams with it again. Bumped from behind by Como. Now it's Ian Cole. The Penguins just hanging on for dear life here with the game scoreless. And Fleury, the difference. Here's Spalling. Stoll bumps him, and he's able to work the puck back into the King zone. And Robin Regier goes back to get it.
It's a tough game to play right now. Not a lot of room. The Penguins hanging on behind Marc-Andre Fleury. You just hope that they can push back here. With 8 minutes left in the third, the Kings are playing their heavy hockey right now.
The Penguins have one guy that's been really a game breaker lately, and that's Evgeny Malkin. The one guy who can make one individual play to turn it all around. Here he goes. Malkin into the Kings zone. Drops it off for Como. And a good read there by Muzzin to break up that play. And now Shore comes back for the Kings against Letang, swinging wide, shooting off the side of the goal. He got it back in front for Clifford, and Fleury made another save. And the puck comes to the near wall where Como can't get a hold of it. Off the wall it comes from Muzzin into the middle now. Shot by Nolan, hits Scuderi. And Kunitz steps out, lifts it up to center ice. And Green's got it there to send it right back into the Penguin zone. The Penguins just changed. Letang goes back forward, around for Paul Martin.
You gotta wonder if the Penguins playing last night is if they have anything left in the tank right now. They gotta use all these bodies. Well, yeah, we got something going at Letang. Nolan, I believe.
Well, Letang was hit by Nolan down in the corner, and then Nolan turned around and said something to the referee. I took my eyes away from that as Bo Bennett was actually making something happen going the other way with that going on. And you were just saying that the Penguins didn't have a lot of fuel left in the tank, Bob, and Bo Bennett is one guy who might actually have some little extra juice.
Agreed. Played 8 minutes last night in the hockey game. You're going to need guys like that. So behind the play, Nolan and Letang. There's Nolan hitting Letang with a little shot back. And a lot of hugging. Well, he's made 30 saves on the night, looking for win 30. Marc-Andre Fleury, look at the big bodies in front of him. He's trying to track it, down, up. Gaborik throws it down to his backhand, to his forehand. So 3 saves there for Marc-Andre Fleury, keeping those pads flat on the ground. Chris Letang is in the box for Pittsburgh right now. And
Jordan Nolan is in there.
Jordan Nolan, yes, the two that were...
So this is interesting. The game could open up a bit here with a 4-on-4 situation. Bobby's checking the numbers right now to see what the 4-on-4 comparison is. On the draw, a quick shot by Crosby, blocked by Regehr. A good gap by Regehr there. Oh, that was a good chance for Sid, but Regehr, good defender. He was able to block it.
6-6 for the Penguins. 3, 4, and 6 against for the Kings in that 4-on-4 category.
Turnover. Kopitar with it. Kopitar brings it up high to Doughty. Doughty. Spinorama on Crosby, brings it in deep. Lovejoy tried to stop him. He's going to protect the puck. Doughty sends it back into the corner for Kopitar. Gaborik was tripped up in front of the goal. He gets back up. And Kopitar controlling the puck right now in the 4-on-4 situation. Crosby trying to defend. He got a stick on it. And it's cleared by Pouliot to center ice, and Munson came over trying to crush Perron, and Crosby gets a step to the goal. Poke check by Quick. He wanted to bring it across, and Quick diving to the ice, reached out with that long goal stick and took it away from him. And now Kopitar coming to center ice. Kunis took it away from him, and he drives it down into the corner.
Boy, the player you'd like to have on the ice for Pittsburgh is Letang. He's in the box right now. He's not available.
Now look at Carter. This guy can really skate. Coming in, drops it off to Foley's drive, blocked by Paul Martin. He leads the team in blocks, and a great example right there. Always in great position.
He's also a guy that can move up here on this 4-on-4 and maybe finish a game off for you.
Paul Martin with it. Gets his feet moving. Moves it to the right side for Kunitz. Down for Malkin, who steers it in. The Kings have been involved in a lot of one-goal games, a lot of overtime games this year. The record's not particularly good. The Penguins hope to survive and get at least a point here, I think, at this point would be a good thing. Now here's Hornquist taking it in his own zone. And they certainly have battled as hard as they can under the circumstances. Here's Hornquist into the Kings zone, shooting it long on Quick, who steers it to the wall. Sutter is there. Sutter and Hornquist teaming up. Letang and Nolan back on the ice. And Letang will go back for the puck in his own zone. Chris Letang under pressure. Nolan follows on with the puck. Lewis and Nolan working the corner. Hornquist there and Letang, and he's able to lift it out to center. Robin Regehr has it there, and we get another whistle here. It's a hand pass. Stop and play with 4:54 to go. Only 13 shots for Pittsburgh. Fleury has stopped 30, and Quick with a big play there on Sidney Crosby.
Time for that Subway sandwich of the game. How about a couple of them? Hornquist. Ooh, wow, on Green. And then Martin with a textbook hip check on Kopitar, the big man. Head over heels.
Leo Boyven would be proud of that one. Old number 2 of the Penguins from back in the day. You could throw those. It's kind of a lost art. You know who else could do it? Your old buddy Bobby Hilly, right? Oh yeah, Randy Hillier, a good hip checker in his day. Here's McNabb moving it up the wall, taken away by Spaulding. Nick Spaulding along the boards, turns and wants to get it to the net if he can. Pushes it into the slot. It's loose. And Quick snatches it right out of there and covers it up. The 95 Devils team got back together, and Marty Brodeur was going to be on hand for that. And you can see Billy Guerin right in the middle of the picture. He got back for a reunion in New Jersey. And Billy G united with the other champions.
That doesn't make me that happy. I was in the finals with the Wings. You beat us, Steggy. So I don't like that tweet.
But we love Billy, and I was talking to Billy, and great for him. That's awesome stuff.
Here's Lovejoy stepping up, trying to get it to the net. Now it comes back to Hornquist. He sends it back down low for Crosby. Sidney Crosby racing over. Crosby put it to the point, and Pouliot made a quick play there to make sure it got back deep to the corner, but Drew Doughty steps out, moves it to center. Lewis, back pressure from Crosby, knocked it away from him. Now Sid has control of the puck. Playing good defensive game here tonight, Sidney Crosby. Back to Pouliot. He dumps it into the Kings zone. We're down to 4:02 to go in the third period. Robin Regeer drops it off, and Doughty returns it to Regeer.
Highlighted the goaltenders in the open, and boy, they've been good in this one. Marc-Andre Fleury, out of his mind so far.
Letang, short pass to Malkin, right back to Letang, and now over to Martin, and up the wing now. Did Kunis touch that? He did, and it's cleared to the corner. Muzzin just spins it right back to center. Handled there now by Ian Cole. Cole to Malkin to Scuderi. The Penguins are passing the puck nicely here. Just running their system. Now Kunitz back to Gino. And Gino steps in against Muzzin, slithers his way down the wall. Works it along for Como. Como pressured from behind by Green. Winnick got over. It came to Scuderi, who dumps it back into the corner for Malkin. Malkin right back to Rob Scuderi. A wrister through traffic, and that is blocked in front by Green. Now to Nolan. Nolan ahead for King. That pass way too hard. It came right to Cole. He banks it off the boards, but unfortunately that'll be an icing call against the Penguins. And there was a chance there because the Kings pretty much gave the Penguins the puck there, and then Cole gave it right back on an icing.
King wasn't looking for that pass, and now you get the big guns here of the Kings on the ice against maybe a little bit of a tired Penguin unit. Sutter taking the draw. He's been over 50% in 9 straight hockey games.
Carter has yet to register a shot. He wins the draw and pulls it back to Sekera. Back down into the corner. Carter there. Cole on him. Sutter trying to help out. King moves it out to Sekera. Now across for McNabb. McNabb, not sure what he wanted to do with it there. Dumps it behind the net for King. In front now, Carter. Tied up nicely by Brandon Sutter. And now it's Toffoli with it. Back to the corner. Scuderi bumped by King. Squirts free, and there's Sutter to help out again down low. And Sutter just lifts it out to neutral ice. 2:23 remaining in regulation time. Sekera back to play it. Now it's Toffoli with it. Carter sent it out to center. It jumped over the stick of Letang. Dwight King bearing down on him, and look at Letang skate. Sends it out to the middle. Picked off there by Williams. Williams lost the puck, and Crosby just banks it away to center.
Got hammered by Letang. After he tried to make a play inside the blue line, you want to protect that puck right now. Make sure you protect the point.
Paul Martin, little deception there as he made it look like he was going to go to the right side and then went up the left side, but Perron couldn't take the pass. And now it's Brown with it. He tried to pass it into the middle. It comes right back to him. Hornquist saw that he was a little bit vulnerable there. Then he tripped Hornquist and it stuck out his leg again there. Now taken by Regeer. Over to Doughty. 1.5 minutes remaining in regulation time. Doughty ahead of Toffoli. Left wing pass to Williams. Centers it. Oh, it goes right to the crease. And then it was pried free and the Penguins storm back. Hornquist is tired. Malkin coming to the goal. Backhand shot. Stopped by Quick. Hornquist couldn't get to the rebound. Malkin to the corner. Hornquist has it. Back to Kunitz, a drive, and a save made by Quick. Malkin is being pinned to the ice right now, trying to get up. Penguins continue to control the puck. Down the wing comes Lovejoy. Trying to move it into the middle. Malkin continues to joust with the man who was on top of him, Jared Stoll. And it's taken now by Kunitz. Oh, he gave it away to Williams. Williams has to catch up with the puck. Drops it off to Gaborik. Hopping into the Penguin zone. He left it for Kopitar. Back to Gaborik. And Gaborik centered it. He had a man cutting in. It was Lewis, but it went right by him and back to Green. 40 seconds to go in regulation. Kopitar with it. Kopitar into the Penguin zone. Swinging wide on Paul Martin. Kopitar sends it back into the corner. Letang is there. And the Penguins just battling to kill this clock if they can now that they're in their own zone. Letang. Winnick. Sure-handed right now in his own zone is Winnick as he moves it out to center. And Spaulding dumps it to the corner. 12 seconds to go. Sutter in after the puck. Quick mishandles it behind the net. It's loose. And it's taken by Sekera 5 seconds to go. Penguins turn it over again. Perron with the puck. There's the horn. So the Penguins earn a point in Los Angeles. And the Kings are going to overtime again. And 4-on-4 coming up in the Barrel.com overtime. No score, but what a game. Barrel.com overtime. Penguins and Kings. Marc-Andre Fleury tough in the third, Bob.
Yeah, he's been absolutely exceptional. 22 shots coming in, 9 for the Kings. A lot of tough ones, especially on Gaborik there. 3 consecutive saves for Fleury. One got in behind him. He was bumped by Dustin Brown. The referee waved it off. He was unable to make a save. And Jonathan Quick made one big save on a Malkin backhand. And we've talked about the Malkin backhand using that Derek Pouliot stick model, and he scored at least 3 of his last 6 on that backhand.
And the Kings are 3-12 at overtime. The Penguins are 8-9. Crosby against Anze Kopitar. 4-on-4 hockey. Crosby and Kunitz, Letang and Martin. Doughty and Regeer, Kopitar and Gaborik. 4-on-4 hockey. Let's watch the show. Crosby took it away. He got it to Kunitz. Kunitz for Crosby. Penguins weaving now in the offensive zone. Crosby looks for Letang cutting to the net. Letang brings it up high. Chased all the way by Gaborik. Across for Sidney Crosby. Crosby tried to go back to Letang. It came right back to him off the stick of Regeer. Crosby again against Kopitar, trying to burrow his way in. 3 Kings there. He got it to Kunitz. And Quick makes the save on Chris Kunitz.
Fun to watch everybody navigate, try to run those subtle picks just to create some sort of room for their buddy.
Now it's Kopitar, dogged by David Perron. He dumps the puck backwards. Quick there with Malkin after the puck bounces on it. Tried to go to Perron, but Kopitar smartly came back, knew where the puck was going next, and he picked off the pass.
He's got to be tired. Malkin's out there fresh. Kopitar started the overtime against Crosby.
Now Toffoli's got it. He's got fresh legs for the Kings, but Derek Pouliot has it now for Pittsburgh. Pouliot to Lovejoy. They're heading out of Malkin. Just dumps it rink wide right into the Penguins bench.
Usually your best chance comes off a chance at the other end. When a goaltender makes a big save, creates an odd man opportunity going the other way that a defenseman can jump into a rush, make a 2-on-2, a 3-on-2. These teams playing very protective there for their point at the end of this. Let's see if it opens up at all here in this overtime. As you mentioned, the Kings' overtime record hasn't really been that stellar. The Penguins won under 500.
Lovejoy gains the red line, dumps it in up high so Quick can't stop it. Hornquist racing over to get it, trying to get body position on Toffoli. He's able to jam it down the board. Sutter there as well as Hornquist battling to get the puck against Green, who crushes him into the end boards. And now the centering pass, and it's stolen by Hornquist. The shot, he scores! Patrick Hornquist wins it for the Penguins in overtime. And he worked so hard to get that chance, and the Penguins win in Los Angeles.
You telling me he worked hard? He would not be denied. He worked on the far right wing wall. He got hammered in behind the net. He got himself available, and he snapped a shot to the blocker's side of the netminder Quick. He just wouldn't be denied. This guy, a mucker, a grinder, a playoff player.
Absolutely.
In a playoff game, I'll tell you. What a victory for the Penguins.
He's our McDonald's player of the game, and he said last night after the win in Anaheim, he said, we wanted to prove to each other
Look at
that
this
we could
hit.
be a better team.
He got hammered by Greenstaggy, but he just kept his feet moving. Next thing you know, he's going to find himself, look at Green's moving up ice. The puck comes to Hornquist. And Quick can't believe it. Look how far out Quick is. I don't know if that went off a stick on a flailing defenseman, Muzzin or not. Hornquist.
We'll be coming right back to Los Angeles in just a moment. A dramatic overtime goal from Patrick Hornquist.